X showing Marco Rubio being a wedding DJ. Take a look. All right, here with reaction, the Federalist election correspondent Brianna Lyman is with us. What do you make of that? Another job. It's obviously that's fun, but all the reports that the president, even in front of JD and Marco, puts everybody on the spot. Who do you think I should endorse for president in 2028? I mean, it's so Trumpy and it's funny, but what do you think of the fact that he does it?
I mean, first of all, we have to see if J.D. Vance is a good DJ or not to know that. And Sean, I think it's funny. You know, people all the time say, oh, elections don't matter. This is proof that they do, because under Obama, you had a Secretary of State that bleached bit emails. Under Joe Biden, you had a Secretary of State that let a Chinese spy balloon fly across the country, no questions asked. And under Trump, you get a Secretary of State that is out here capturing dictators during the day, and then he's DJing a pretty good set at nighttime. I mean, this is the modern Renaissance man that we've all been looking for.
Well, I think so. Do you think that it's going to be a battle? Do you think that whoever Donald Trump endorses for 28 gets the nod?
I do think whoever Donald Trump endorses, his endorsement is what pulls people through during the midterms. And I think seeing how November turns out will kind of give us that indicator as to whether 2028 will be Donald Trump's endorsement or a different person.
All right. Interesting. All right. Virginians are now finding out exactly who they voted for. Get this. During an interview with a local ABC affiliate, Governor Abigail Spanberger did not rule out the possibility of taxing things like streaming services, dry cleaning, gym memberships, just to name a few, saying, quote, I think every idea, as long as it's reasonable, makes some amount of sense, should be discussed. Well, yeah, OK, there are worthy conversations to be had. But what does revenue generation look like into the future, you know, as our economy changes? Is there anything the likes of Abigail Spanberger and Mamdani and all these other people, the mayor of Seattle, don't want to tax? Gavin Newsom, is there anything they don't want to, any amount of money they don't want to take?
No, and I hope that when people look at Abigail Spanberger, they realize that when a Democrat tells you that they're moderate, that's a campaign myth. They are trying to deceive you. This is a woman who literally ran on being a moderate, and she is anything but. And if you were one of the dozen or 24 people that watched her rebuttal to Trump's State of the Union, she asked viewers, is this president working to make life more affordable for you and your family? That was part of that affordability shtick that she won on in 2025. She doesn't care about affordability. Ever since she got into office day one, her party wants to tax gym memberships, delivery orders, lawn care. So I hope that she is a cautionary tale for Americans that when Democrats begin cosplaying as a moderate from now until November, remember, when they get into office, they're going to pull an Abigail Spanberger on you.
All right. Streaming services, dry cleaning, a gym membership. Now you get taxed to go to a gym. More people will build out their own gym. That's my prediction. I think the one thing that we're going to see more and more of, though, is what we're seeing in California and New York and Seattle, for example, and that is the wealth tax. They want to go after, even after people have paid a lot of money in taxes, paid their bill, then they're going to have a wealth tax. Then, because so many people will keep leaving, then they'll have an exit tax. They want to charge you and still keep their claws into you and take money, even though you don't take any services from that state. I don't think that'll ever be ruled constitutional. Thoughts?
I mean, this reminds me of the Beatles song Tax Man. They're going to tax you for everything that they got. And, you know, I mean, I live in New York State. We have a massive wealth exodus. You go back to 2022 to 2023, we lost $10 billion in income because of out-migration. And instead of creating policies to make New York City and New York State attractive, you have the governor and the mayor, these progressive Bobbsey twins, who are basically trying to drive wealth and jobs out of this state. And the only good thing about that is a gift for people like Bruce Blakeman, who is, God willing, going to be our next governor, because he's going to show you that when a Democrat is in office, you lose jobs, you lose revenue, and you're going to suffer a budget deficit, much like New York City is.
You know, Bruce Blakeman did an ad, and he had Kathy Hochul saying, "Get on a bus, Lee Zeldin, Trump, get out of town, get out of town." Then recently she said, "I think we need to go down to Palm Beach and start asking people to come back home." I don't think they're going back. Just my prediction. Brianna, thank you. Appreciate it. When we come